be here. And, Andy, this feels like the kickoff of the football season. There's the combine, there's the draft, there's training camp, there's all these things. But we were here a year ago, and here we go all over again, the chance to be Rams Revealed.
And right off the bat,
yes, sir,
we are joined by an actual Ram.
An actual member of the Los Angeles Rams who will be beginning his third season. Of course, we were talking about Steve Avila, who is here joining us here at the YouTube Theater. Steve, thanks for doing it.
You said my last name right, and I appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir. All right, I'm going to let you in on something. Look, I had to go phonetics right here. I had to go phonetics here, but I did get it right.
And
I'm good.
I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to reveal secrets.
Yeah.
But there is a member of the Rams organization who mispronounced it.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Not saying who.
Not
saying who.
So funny story, actually. So Alaric Jackson, his name looks like it's spelled like Alaric. But, like, he corrects people, and he gets mad at me when I don't correct people about my last name, because a lot of people say, like,
Avila.
Or just it's just always different. But, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Avila.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, people will say Avila.
Look, my last name, Kamenetzky, I get where you're coming from. Nobody gets that thing right after at least 5-6 times.
Yeah. Hey, we just go with AK.
AK.
That's a good way to do it.
That's a great name.
So this kind of feels like the beginning of football season for me. You know, we talk a lot about football on my show that I do with DeMarco Farr every day.
Yes.
And so it always feels like the NFL is front of mind. But what about for you? What about when you start going, putting some pads back on, getting the organization, you got your draft, you get to see your draft picks. When does it feel like, okay, it's go time for you?
Honestly, when we get back to camp, I think at the end of July is when everything starts, because that's when our schedules are a little bit, we have a lot more on our schedules. Like right now, it's a little bit more calm period, but I will say, the football feeling is definitely there for us. I think we came at the end of the end of April, and just seeing everybody in the building at the same time, it honestly felt like the first day of school.
Yeah.
And, everybody had on their best fits and all this different stuff. So it was a good feeling. It's nice always seeing everybody back in the facility, and we're going. It's the end of May right now, so we've been there quite a while. But I feel like we're very much prepared for the season.
I would think too, the draft happening, then it starts feeling like real, because you're putting players and names to what was just numbers on a draft board. Mm-hmm. These are the guys now. They're going to be part of the team moving forward. It is officially a new season in front of us.
Yeah. I mean, we got some good signings, and that's always indication of who's going to be on the team, obviously. And actually, as you said, when the draft happens and all those rookies start coming in, you really get to you start to get a feel of who's going to be on this team. We're all invested in the same thing, and everybody's in the building right now. We're all practicing, we're all learning different things. So it definitely brings that feeling.
Steve Avila joining us here, Rams Revealed at the YouTube Theater. You're going into your third season. What do you know now that you didn't know 2 years ago?
Man, it's so crazy because we'll watch film from my first year just being here, and I'm not going to discredit anything I did on the field.
Sure.
I know that I've gotten better at a lot of different things, and
like what?
Just a lot of technique stuff, and just a lot of mental stuff as well, and just how to attack different things. And it also helps just being able to grow with the guys around us. And I'm definitely trying to step more into a leadership role. Especially with those younger guys coming in. I know I still have a lot more to learn. But it's definitely one of those things I feel like I have to do because people did for me, when I got here. So
it's interesting. You're talking about things that you know now that you didn't know then. Heading into last season, I will admit, and I think Travis would as well, a lot of people, we did not expect the Rams to be as good as they were last year. Not even that they thought they'd be bad, but just there were a lot of questions and uncertainties with this team. Why do you think you guys, I think at least, surpassed the general expectations for the team?
Yeah, there's a lot of different people who have a lot of, expectations for us. And honestly, it really came down to us. We just needed to stay healthy. That was really the number one thing. We know our expectations were very, very high. We could see it, when we were at practice before the season even started. But, we were just getting plagued with injuries, including myself. And, when we came back, I think we were on a losing streak, and we ended up coming back and winning however many games in a row. And that was just a great feeling, to be around, especially, again, someone who's coming off an injury. But, Yeah,
you guys have made an art, by the way, of starting out
hitting
slow
the gas in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I feel like we're kind of emphasizing. That's what I'm in my head. I'm like, man, we just need to start fast. We need to start fast. I know. Our expectations are really, really high. I know we can reach those expectations with the people we have. And that first step is just starting out really strong. We don't want to have to be fighting, for the playoffs in freaking December or November. or later than December. So, yeah.
Steve, what you mentioned this word a couple of times about expectations. And like Andy said, guys that do what Andy and I do, it's our whole job to think about what may happen. Like, what's it going to look like? What's it going to look like a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, and trying to kind of look into the future of what it might be. Last year it was we'll see what it looks like with the Rams, generally speaking across the media. This year it's like, hey, the Rams are really good.
Yeah.
The Rams are the one team that played the Eagles kind of straight up, and, one play at the end goes a different way.
Yeah.
You guys might win that game, and who knows what happens after that. Mm-hmm. Does it feel different to you with the expectations being elevated this season?
I feel like what we talk about in our room is what our culture is, and we try not to take so much from the outside. And I know a lot of people have us really, really high, and I know, we can definitely meet those things.
Sure.
But we have the people for it, and we just need all the pieces to come together, for that when the season starts. And again, I feel like number one thing is just staying healthy. So I feel like, we're doing a really good job right now. So
you mentioned your health. I remember you were sitting in that chair. I was standing right here a year ago, and we were talking about it. And I remember asking you played every snap of your rookie year. Not every game, every snap. Mm-hmm. You didn't come off for a single offensive play the entire year. And then last year, you get the injury bug, and it doesn't go like that. Is it, I'm assuming you did the work. I'm assuming you did all the things you're supposed to do. Is it just the luck of the draw?
Man, I understand now, what people. So that was my first injury ever in my career of anything. I've never not played a game. I've never had anything that's kept.
You managed to go this long playing football at your level without getting hurt?
Yeah. I've had little injury, like a rolled ankle. That's like a day-to-day thing. But this one, it definitely put things into perspective for me, and I started not to take things for granted. And that's honestly kind of when I talk about I feel like I've learned more year to year, and I feel like this was one of those things, to help me become who I am today. Again, I know I have a lot more to go through, but, I feel like those are one of the things that need to happen in order for me to get better at what I do.
You guys open the season. 4 of the 6 games include the Eagles, Texans, Ravens, and a Niners team that is generally expected to be better than last season. It's a tough opening slate, but how much do you think you guys are just going to have an idea of where you stand just from the opening of the season?
Yeah. It's always you can always look at the schedule and picture what a team is like. Again, we try not to – we take one step at a time when it comes to these things, and our main goal right now is just to win that first game, and then we worry about the next week, when the next week happens. So that's definitely one of our focuses right now. We try not to get too invested of the possibilities of everything, or watching another team. Oh, they're 5-0. We need to start preparing now, and it's 2 weeks before the game even starts. So we do a really good job at that, and it's one step at a time. Just like my rookie year, I think we were coming off the bye week, and we ended up winning a bunch of games. And that's the mentality that we had, one game at a time. So that's kind of where we're taking it right now.
Steve Avila joining us here, Rams offensive lineman, Rams Revealed from YouTube Theater. You mentioned it in one of your first answers when we first started talking about trying to assume more of a leadership role in your third year here. Is it something that a lot of different offensive players are going to have to do with Cooper Kupp being in Seattle? With just somebody that had been here for so long, who'd been as successful as he has, who's as popular as he is, who is reliable as he is does that leave a big leadership void?
I feel like, we definitely, we lost a lot, with Coop. He was a great, awesome guy. He was a great player, and obviously he was a big leader. But I feel like with, my draft class and even the one before, we've learned that, we do need to take that next step into different things. And when I say more of a leadership role, I'm not talking about trying to become a captain, because I feel like that stuff will happen when I earn the respect of everybody else. But what is the part that I can do to make my teammates better? And I feel like that's what all of us are trying to do right now, and whoever becomes captain or whoever has the most respect from all of our players are the one who gets, crowned that.
Speaking of guys that I know are considered leaders on this team, Matthew Stafford, he is, I believe, pushing 38 at this point. How does he do this?
I don't know. He's still performing at a really high level, and last year coming in when Bo Limmer was coming in, we were snapping the ball, and I think he was snapping to him, and I was like, dude, I looked at Bo. I'm like, dude, can you even fathom that you're snapping the ball to Matthew Stafford right now? And he was like, yeah, bro, when I first got here, I had a moment where I was just admiring him, because I watched him growing up, and I feel like a lot of that's still there, man.
I was going to say, you guys have watched him when you were like little kids.
Yeah. It's a crazy feeling. Even with Devontae Adams, just being in high school, like watching him do all this different stuff, and there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of players who played a very long time, and it's just awesome seeing everybody succeed. Right now.
So it's one of those things, going into the offseason, the question is Matthew Stafford going to be back? Is he not? Is he going to go somewhere else? Is he going to retire? And it just felt to me from the outside looking in that this just made so much sense for him to come back. That he obviously everybody wants to get paid, and I'm not brushed, but he's about winning. He's about being in a chance to win football games. And the other opportunities that were out there did not present him the same opportunity to win like the Rams did. The Rams didn't have a lot of better options to just go out and find it. It felt like it was inevitable to come back. Like it looked like it was going to happen. But when it finally did happen, how much of a relief was it to know that, we got number 9 coming back?
Yeah, it was a big relief. Like, I always talk about just how blessed I am just to be around these guys, man. The way he just commands things, the way he does things, the way he speaks, the way he practices, the way he carries himself are just things that you would expect from just like a legend. You know what I mean? When you talk about pro guys, that is who you think about. And it is amazing. It's so amazing to be around and just see someone who is so locked in as he is. So when we had him back, man, it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. It's hard for me to imagine how rookies get acclimated to being in the NFL when I hear how confident he is in what he's saying. And I know he's been playing for a long time, but I would be able to tell the difference between a rookie being back there versus him.
It's like learning a new language. Like, I don't have to think about what's being said. I just know what's being said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is. I remember the first time I was in the huddle with him, he literally set the whole play because it's super long. And I was like, what the? Like, I don't.
There's a great, maybe I think it's an NFL Films thing where you guys are in the huddle, and he's getting the play in his helmet, and he's talking to you guys. He's like, he's still going.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got it. Like, and you could just tell it's like one of those, I know this as well as you do. And I think that's what makes those guys such it's like we understand each other in a way, but it's like, he's still going. It was a great cut.
Yeah, and it's so I think they have a timer in their helmet of how much they can talk to the coaches. And I full on believe, like, if that timer cut off, Matthew would draw up something.
Yeah.
He just knows that much. So
I mean, based on that clip, it felt like Matthew was hoping it would cut off. Like, no, seriously, I've heard enough. Like, Sean, I got it. Seriously.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Steve, last question before we let you go. I appreciate you doing this. We're talking with Steve Avila.
There you go. Awesome.
Absolutely. Obviously not a spot where a bunch of offensive linemen are getting a chance to do this, but what do you think about NFL players in the Olympics playing flag football?
I want to know what that would look like.
Yeah.
It would be very interesting. You said offensive lineman, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, just in both.
Man, it would be crazy. I don't know if, and the only thing that I think about is just the time constraint.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would work out because I know that when the Olympics is going on, we're in camp. I remember watching the gold medal basketball game. I think we're just finishing up with the Cowboys practices. So it'll be interesting to see how that navigates just with time and all that different stuff. But being able to say that you played for your country and coming away with the gold medal, that is just something that you can't even not a lot of people can say.
I want to see somebody from some other part of the world try to cover Tyreek Hill in flag football.
So I feel like we're going to be surprised with a lot of this stuff. Yeah.
Okay, how come?
Like, we'll be like, I don't know. There's some, bro, you can go find some random dude in Uganda that can run a 4-1.
Well, Stu, I have a feeling, and I don't know, I'm hardly an expert on flag football, but I get the impression that it is bigger in other parts of the world than it is in the States.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of these other countries may actually be more prepared for, the sport of flag football because that is different than the football you play.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people that are in, the I think there's a flag football league are wanting to get a shot at that. I mean, I don't know if it's a different game. I don't know how much that goes, but I mean, you have NFL players like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow throwing the ball, Matthew Stafford throwing the ball, it's going to get there. You know,
I would love to see Josh Allen with Tyreek Hill, and I don't just this group of guys that can shake a little bit, that can run really well. I mean, that'd be a lot for NFL players to handle, much less non-NFL players to handle.
Yeah, I know. It'll be interesting. I'm actually really excited for it.
I am too. Steve, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming by. Good luck to you. Stay healthy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.